to group number one. For those of you who are drawn to the first image, it's going to be our reading today. We're going to be looking into how do your coworkers view you? What's the gossip on you at work? How do your coworkers, management, whoever, at your job, how do they view you? And these readings can also go for those who may be self-employed as well, or you may work for yourself, have your own business. This could be maybe how people in your field view you. So, spirit guides, this is for group number one. How do group number one's coworkers view them? How do group number one's coworkers view them? So you got the Five of Wands. Interesting. Okay. You got the Ten of Cups. Okay. I feel like you're somebody who try not to get involved in a lot of like conflict or a lot of arguments or gossip. I feel like you're somebody at work who, for the most part, keep to yourself. And I feel like with this like Five of Wands energy, it feels very much like conflict going on around you, but you keep to yourself. And for some of you, you may even like listen to gossip. You may listen to other people talk shit, but you may not always say anything. And that's for some of you here. Others of you, there's nothing wrong with, I'm not judging or anything. You may, say a couple of things along with the gossip, may give your 2 cents on some things. So I feel like other people may view you, some people may view you as a little wishy-washy at work. And again, I'm not judging or anything. This is just the energy that I'm picking up. But some people may view you as a little in and out. Some people don't really like understand you in some type of way. I feel like also with this Five of Wands, Ten of Cups energy, you may have quite a bit of mystery surrounding you, like as far as like what goes on with your life outside of work. So a lot of people don't may not know too much about you. This Ten of Cups energy also, I feel like you have a lot of coworkers who really like you. You have a lot of coworkers who view you as somebody who they would be friends with, somebody who they would consider, like chosen family or, close friends. I feel like you are a big shining light at work. You are always helpful to others. I feel like you're very knowledgeable about what you do as well. Yeah, but I feel like for the most part, people really like you at your job. I feel like there's not like too many haters. Of course, you may have a few, but I feel like, again, for the most part here, it seems like you have quite a bit of people here who really like you. So you have the Queen of Wands here. So I feel like they also view you as somebody who, you're somebody who's very maybe fiery at work. You may be somebody who's very adaptable. So you may be one way like at work and another way like outside of work. But I feel like, again, you're somebody who's very adaptable, somebody who's able to really adapt to their different environments or different situations. And I feel like you're also somebody who has a lot of confidence. You come off as very confident to other people. You come off as being very well put together. So even if you may not have, everything put together, or everything may not necessarily be the way that you want it to be, I feel like, again, people at your job view you as having it together. So even if you, again, that kind of goes back to what I was saying before, like a lot of them don't necessarily know a lot about you in your personal life. So as far as how they view you as, they come to work having get together, so they all must have everything together in their life. Which for some of you, you may actually be struggling behind the scenes, but you don't let it show when you're at work. So again, I feel like at work you may come off as one way, but if they were to hang out with you outside of work, they may see a different side of you. It's like you come to work, you work, and you go home. You know, you're not really there to make friends. You're not really there to, you know, I mean, you may kick it with some people. You may, laugh and joke and all that. That's fine. But I feel like ultimately you go to work, you do your job, you do what you're supposed to do, and you go home. And I feel like a lot of people feel that you have a lot of charisma as well. Um, Again, I feel like you're very knowledgeable about your job or what you do. People may come to you for like advice, or they may come to you asking you certain things, or asking you about certain things or how to do certain stuff. I'm saying like a cashier. I don't know if your job may have a lot of like technical issues for somebody here. Yeah, you got the hermit here at the bottom. So some of you may have a lot of technical issues at work, or you may work in the tech field, or maybe something to do with like social media, or maybe keep creating content. I can definitely see many of you being in a some type of leadership role, whether it's like a supervisor, a lead, manager. But I can definitely see a lot of the potential here, and I feel like that's also how your coworkers view you as well. They see you as somebody who may have a lot of potential, and I feel like that potential that other people see may cause certain people to get a little bit jealous and envious of you. So you may have some haters here who are very complacent and who aren't really growing or don't want to grow and expand. And so they kind of look at you, as somebody who has a lot of potential and they can see it. And it's like they are jealous of that because for some reason, instead of them, putting in the work to, get to where you are, they would much rather just, maybe be lazy or do things halfway. But I feel like you're somebody who, if you're going to do something, you're going to do it right. You're not going to just, do things halfway. Even if it's like a job that you really don't care for too much, you're still going to do your job. Again, you go to work, you work, and you go home. You can't. I feel like you're somebody who doesn't like people to like look at you in a lazy or negative point of view. You're somebody who's going to put in that work. And you're also, I feel like you're somebody who works smart and not hard. You don't have to, I feel like you don't put in a lot of like hard work, if that makes sense. You do things in a smart way. You're not overstressing yourself. You're not doing too much. You're really taking your time on things and really making sure that you are, just yeah, just make sure you're doing your job, because you don't want to hear anybody's mouth about you not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're like, no, you can't say that. You can look on the cameras. I came in and I started working. I did this and that. What else you got to say about that? I also feel like some of you as well. Some of you may be on CPT time. You may be a little bit late to work, or you may be, if not like a lot like late, but it feels like you may be like a minute or two behind. Um, yeah, which again, no judgment, because this be me all the time. I may be like a minute or two late, but when I do get to work, I'm giving y'all 110%. You can't say I'm not coming in and just not working. So I feel like you're really the same way. You really come in, you do what you're supposed to do. Even if you may be a little bit late, you do what you need to. 444 may be an important number for you, or 44. Somebody here could be 44. So you got the devil here in reverse. So some of you, there's this energy with this Queen of Wands energy. There's this energy of speaking up for yourself. So I feel like some of you, you may, I can see this being going both ways here. I feel like for some of you, you may, you're not afraid of confrontation. You could be a very confrontational person, and you're not afraid to, if there's a boss or a coworker who got you fucked up, you're not afraid to reach out and talk about it. You're not afraid to confront that person. And for others of you, you may be very non-confrontational. So you may, things may go on around you when, you could put a stop to it, but you may not do it for whatever reason. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely feel like for somebody here, you are very confrontational. You're not afraid to speak up. You're not afraid to set those healthy boundaries with this Queen of Wands energy and this devil in reverse. So yeah, many of you, you've definitely set a lot of healthy boundaries with people. I can hear you like correcting people on certain things, and not in like a asshole type of way, or not like you very like not in a very arrogant or egotistical way, but it's like you know your worth with this Queen of Wands energy. You know your worth, you know what you want, you know what you don't want. So you're going to stand firm in that with this Queen of Wands. So you're definitely embodying this Queen of Wands energy here, at your job. Your coworkers definitely view you as, just somebody who's very somebody who's very strong mentally as well, somebody who definitely stands in their power and who is not afraid, somebody who really presents themselves as being very well put together, even though some of you may be having some struggles in your personal life that you don't show to other people at work, which I find a good thing. You leave your personal life at home, and when you walk through the doors at your job, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I feel like a lot of people at your job really respect you for that, especially your management. If you have people who are above you, they really respect your authority. They really respect you know who you are. They really respect just you in general. A lot of respect coming from people who may be higher up than you. Anything else, spirit guides? Anything else? Anything else? The magician, yeah, you're somebody who they view as very resourceful. You're somebody who, um, I don't know, I'm picking up like non-profit. Some of you may work for non-profits. Somebody here may work in customer service. Somebody here may work in like retail management. Um, Somebody here is self-employed here as well. I don't know. I just picked up the zoo. Somebody may work at the zoo. Hmm. But yeah, I feel like they view you as somebody who's very resourceful, somebody who, um, you're just very good at your job. You're very good at what you do. Somebody here may be a grant writer as well, which is also kind of giving me that non-profit, not-for-profit type of energy here. But you're somebody also who has a very open mind, and you have a very unique mind. You have a very unique way of doing things or even seeing things. Let's get some zodiac signs here for you to see some possible shit talkers here. For group number one. But again, I feel like you may not have like a lot of enemies. You may not have a lot of like beef or gossip or like beef at work, or at least any beef that you know about. I mean, somebody may have beef with you, but I feel like you don't have any beef with anybody else. Does anybody have any beef with them? Okay. So you got Capricorn, Aries with the first house, Taurus, and Libra. This could be their sign or your sign, sun, moon, or rising. And then let's get a couple of characteristics here. Maybe somebody who I want to look more specifically with these. I want to see maybe who's, gossiping about you, who may be saying any negative things about you, just for helping those who need some type of confirmation. Is there anybody gossiping or talking shit about group number one? Or hating on group number one? I'm hearing Starbucks as well. Some of you may work in Starbucks or a coffee shop. Grocery store. You may work in like an actual office, like with cubicles. Anything else? Somebody here may be very bigoted. You may have a bigot at work, or somebody who's very like hateful towards maybe your beliefs, your religion, or your spiritual path. You may wear like crystals to work, or you may have like visible crystals, maybe rings or a necklace. And you may have somebody at your job who may be against the whole what do they call it here in America? It's the woke movement, I guess. But I feel like yeah, you may have somebody who's a bit of a bigot at your job and who may judge like the things you wear or your beliefs. So you have athlete or athletic, bald head, disciplined, big nose, has facial hair. So this could be a masculine, a guy, brown hair, dress vintage style, sharp or thin features, small or flat nose, short, and POC, person of color. So group number one, these are all the messages that I'm seeing for y'all. So let me know how this reading resonates for you in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe if you enjoyed your reading. But group number one, y'all stay well, stay blessed, and I'll see you all in my next reading. Peace out. What is good, group number two? For those of you who are drawn to the second image, it's going to be your reading today. How do your coworkers view you? What's the gossip on you at work? One thing I did also want to mention is that this reading could be for, could also resonate for those of you who may be self-employed or work for yourself or have your own business. This could be, related to maybe people who work in your field, or do what you do. But as always, these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave the rest. So spirit guides, we're tapping into the collective energies of group number two. How do their coworkers view them? For group number two, how do their coworkers view them? How do their coworkers, their people at their job view them? You may be somebody, you got the five of wands in reverse. So you may be somebody who's always in your head a lot. I don't know if you may struggle with like anxiety or depression, or just talk about like, or how much you're ready to go home, or how much you really don't feel like being at work. Somebody may view you as complaining, as somebody who likes to complain. Not to say that that's like a negative thing or to judge you or anything, but and that's not for everybody as well. But for somebody here, one of your coworkers may view you as somebody who complains a lot. But I feel like for the large portion of you here, some of you may be like overthinkers. You may be in your head a lot on certain things, or you may just overanalyze certain stuff. I feel like they may view you as somebody who, and it's funny because this Five of Wands came out in the last group, but it came out upright. So I feel like you may have a lot of inner conflict, or you may struggle with like imposter syndrome, or yeah, you just have a lot going on in your head. I feel like for some of you, you may wear your emotions on your face. So some of you may have a resting bitch face, and some of you, yeah, I feel like you may show your show things on your face a lot. You may have really funny like facial expressions to some of your coworkers, or really cool facial expressions. Some of them think it's cool or funny. Let's see. Three of Discs in reverse and the Princess of Swords. So I feel like for some of you, your coworkers view you as, I feel like this can go both ways here. So for half of you, your coworkers think that you work really, really well with other people. You know, if you're paired up with somebody for a project or for some type of task, you may work really well, especially when it comes to doing your part. And for others of you, some of your coworkers may think you don't work very well with others. You may, what is the word? You may do better or work. You may work very well by yourself versus with the team. So some of you, your coworkers may think that you may prefer to work by yourself over working with them, which I mean, for some of you, that could be very true, which is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I definitely feel like some of them think that, you know, you may not be the biggest team player, but I feel like that's okay. You know your strengths, you know your worth. You know, it's okay to work as a team with people, but at other times, you know, you may want to just do you. So you got the Princess of Swords here in reverse. So for many of you, you're not afraid to stand up for yourself or to speak up for yourself. For some of your coworkers, they may think that you're a little too blunt, or you may be a little too. Sorry about that, group number two. I got a little phone call, a little distracted over there. But anyway, I believe what I was talking about was this Princess of Swords here in reverse, which is the, if I'm not mistaken, this is the Page of Swords, I think, in this deck. But regardless of that, I feel like, again, you're somebody who's definitely not afraid to speak up for themselves. You're not afraid to, call people out on their bullshit. You know, you may have some people at your job who, who may get under your skin a little bit, or who may not be as good at their job, or may not be doing what they're supposed to be doing. So you're definitely not afraid to speak up and say what you need to say. Some people at your job may view you as somebody who's a little brutally honest, or who may be a little too honest on certain things. But I don't feel like it's that. I feel like you're just, you have a thought in your head, you know, and you're going to relay that thought, you know. I feel like you spend a lot of your life suppressing your words and suppressing what you had to say. But I feel like as you've gotten older, and especially more like in your journey, your spiritual path, you've become a lot more open with your words and a lot more expressive. I feel like you have a very open throat chakra as well. So definitely feel like you just tell it how it is, and if they don't like it, that's not your problem. You're a very good worker, though. You're a very diligent worker. I feel like I feel like people at your job can't say that you don't work. You know, they cannot say that, because I feel like it's very obvious that you work very well. You do your job, you do what you're supposed to do, and you go home. You make that paycheck, and you're up out of there. You go home and you enjoy your rest of your day. Somebody here may work from home. It's not for everybody, but I feel like one or two of you here may work from home. You got the Prince of Cups here in reverse. Um, I feel like some people at your job may view you as they may view you as somebody who I don't know why I'm picking up something about like Disney. That's very weird message, very specific for somebody here. Somebody may view you, not view you, but somebody, I don't know if you talk to other people about like things you may like to watch, like movies you may like to watch, or if you're somebody who's very vocal about like certain interests. I know like people who are like Star Wars fans or Harry Potter fans and things like that, they're very, very vocal about, them being fans of those, uh, movies and comics and stuff like that. So I don't know if you're vocal about stuff like that. Not for everybody, very specific for somebody here. But yeah, I definitely feel like with this Prince of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups in reverse, I feel like some of your coworkers may view you as, I don't know, there's like this shallow energy. I feel like you may not fuck with a lot of people at your job. I mean, honestly, because this Three of Discs, Princess of Swords in reverse, and this Prince of Cups in reverse, yeah, I'm definitely feel like you don't fuck with a lot of people at your job. You're cordial. Again, this Three of Discs, you work well with people, but you prefer to do things on your own. You prefer to just do you. So I feel like people at your job may view you as being a little bit closed off. You're not as open about certain things, especially when it comes to like emotions or yeah, definitely like your emotions and certain things like that. Or even like if you're having certain problems or issues like in your personal life, you don't show it when you get to work. For others of you, you may, because again, you got this resting bitch face here. So others of you, you may be withdrawers, or you may be somebody like if you're going through a lot of issues or problems or things, you may shut down a little bit, or you may be closed off a little bit. And I don't view that as necessarily a negative thing. I feel like you just may do that to deal with things on your own. I don't know, some of you may had a upbringing where you had to really deal with a lot of things on your own, or you wasn't really as supported like emotionally and mentally growing up. So I feel like as an adult, you kind of become a bit of a withdrawer, which is, again, it's not necessarily a negative thing. You just prefer to deal with things on your own, which this Five of Wands energy I was picking up again, you're somebody who may be in your head a lot. Yeah, you may be in your head a lot. So I feel like your coworkers, for the most part, I feel like they're a little bit iffy on you. I feel like it's not necessarily that they dislike you or that they like you. I feel like it's just a mix of things. I don't know if there's something about you not being fully attached to where you work. I don't know what that may mean. It could be like an energetic attachment, but it's like you may be like one foot in the door, 1 foot out. If you were to get fired, you would be more than okay with that, because you know that you would just go find another job. Jobs are just jobs. They're out there. Which again, is nothing wrong with that at all. We're just picking up these energies here. Yeah, you got the Hermit here at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, they definitely view you as somebody who's very closed off, very to themselves. You may be a little bit introverted. You just may be in your head a lot on certain things. So let's get some zodiac signs here. These zodiac signs, and I'm also pull some characteristics. This could be related to maybe just to give you a little confirmation, if you have been feeling like somebody's talking shit about you, or somebody May not necessarily be an actual friend to you. This could maybe give you some confirmation on this person. Or these could be your sign, sun, moon, and rising. There's way too many. I don't know, somebody here, you may be in college, or you may have like an internship. Feel like whoever your supervisor or whoever is higher up than you, they're pleased with your work. You got a lot of people at your job who wish they knew a lot more about you. You're definitely a mystery to many people at your job or whatever you do for a living. So we got Leo, Aries, Virgo with the 6th house, and Taurus with the 2nd house. You may have a bit of a dark sense of humor as well for somebody. I feel like a lot of people may find you funny. So we're gonna get some characteristics. Maybe who's talking shit about you at work. Just to give you, again, some confirmation. So at the bottom you got has scar or noticeable birthmark. You got long face. Long face has. You got red hair. Light skin. This person could come off as sweet, going through a lot of changes. Blonde or light colored hair. Brown eyes or dark eyes. Frugal / cheap. Sharp or thin features. Person of color. Family oriented. Husky, thick or huscular. And green eyes. So this could describe somebody who you may work with, or like one or two of these things could describe somebody who you may work with, who you may have been feeling a little bit iffy on, you know, it's up to you. But group number 2, these are all the messages that I'm seeing for y'all. So please let me know how this reading resonates for you in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any other readings that I post. If you'd like to book your own personal private reading with me, you can check out my website at rebootofthesoul.com and you can purchase your reading there. But group number 2, y'all stay well, stay blessed, and I'll see you all in my next reading. Peace out. What's good, group number 3, last but not least, we're going to be looking into how do your coworkers view you, or what's the gossip or tea on you at work. One thing I did want to mention that I mentioned in the other groups as well, this reading could also still resonate for you if you are like self-employed or have like your own business or work for yourself or even work from home. You know, this could maybe be how people in your field view you, or how people who do what you do view you. You know, just take what resonates, leave the rest. So, spirit guides, this is for group number 3. How do their co-workers view them? How do the people at their job view them? Seven of Wands. So you definitely come off as somebody who has this very like powerful, don't fuck with me type of energy. I mean, frankly, here you got that type of just don't fuck with me, you know. You're definitely not afraid to speak up for yourself. You're not afraid to say it say it how it is. So definitely, yeah, Two of Cups. So you're definitely not afraid to communicate with people, but I feel like you're not an asshole with it. You're not a dick. You know, you're very fair. I'm picking up the word fair. So I feel like you're somebody who's very fair with others. You know, even if somebody may have done you wrong, or let's say you're confronting somebody about something that they may have said about you. You know, you're not like going and yelling and you may say a couple of cuss words, you know, but you're not escalating it, you know. You just have this way of communicating with people that really gets your point across. You don't have to use a lot of words, you don't have to yell or get an attitude, but you have a very powerful way of communicating with others. You have a very open throat chakra. And I also feel like you're channelers as well. That's a kind of a side message that's coming up. You may be channelers. You may channel things like as you're talking and you don't even know it. But yeah, I definitely feel like your communication skills are on point here. So I feel like your coworkers view you as somebody who's very good at communicating. Even if there's like, you know, things that you may have like part of like their job, you may have to communicate with other people on certain things. I feel like you're a very good communicator. I can see like walkie-talkies. I don't know if some of you may use walkie-talkies at work. But yeah, I definitely feel like you're very good at communicating. They view you as somebody who's very balanced as well, somebody who has a lot of love for themselves. Because at the Two of Cups, at the core of the Two of Cups is self-love. So I definitely feel like you're somebody who has a lot of love for themselves and a lot of love for others. I feel like, you know, you really radiate this loving energy. Even if you don't consider yourself like a love and light type of person, it's really more so of your energy that really attracts people to you. You may have a lot of people at your job who really likes you, or people who may have a crush on you at your work. You may have a lot of people who may view you romantically here as well. Somebody may view you as a perfect like romantic partner for them. I feel like it may be even somebody who you like least expect. For somebody here, this could be somebody of the same sex at your job who may have a bit of a crush on you, but who they're not really vocal about it. And for others of you, you may have somebody who is very vocal about how they feel about you. But I definitely feel like you may have some people who at your job who really view you as like a good romantic partner, or like somebody who would make a really good friend. You're somebody who's very easy to talk to as well. Like there's something about your voice that really just carries a conversation. It really makes people feel at home and at ease. But you just have this very powerful energy to you, group number 3. Very different from groups 1 and 2. Very, very different from groups 1 and 2. It's just very powerful. I don't know, some of you, if you're not in a leadership position right now, you're meant to be in a leadership position. You're meant to be over others. You're meant to lead others. So if you're not in a position right now of leading others, this is definitely along the trajectory of your career. And it may not necessarily have to do with where you work right now for some of you. I mean, for some of you, you may work your way up the ladder at where you are now. And for others of you, you know, this could be, you know, with another organization, or maybe, you know, having your own business or doing something like that. But I definitely see you carry a lot of power with you. You're somebody who's very balanced as well. You've done a lot of inner work, especially working like on your, like how you view yourself, how like your emotions and how you express those emotions, and just shadow work and healing work and all of that. I feel like you're somebody who's very balanced and very healed. And I feel like that shows in your everyday life and how you, just how you show up at work. People really view you as somebody who's done a lot of inner work on themselves. And it just shows. They don't know what you've done, but I feel like you've just changed and evolved over time. And I feel like you just come to work like a different person, like all the time. Some of you may wear like, if you're allowed to, like if you don't wear uniforms, I feel like you may have a lot of people at your job who really likes the way you dress, or they may like the way you put certain clothing together or certain styles together. You may just have a very unique way of dressing or presenting yourself, or like certain way of doing your hairstyle. Some of you may have like a signature hairstyle. I'm hearing a scent as well. So some of you may, some of your coworkers think you smell really good. Yeah. I really like this energy though. I really, really like this energy. So you got the 5 of Discs. So your coworkers view you as somebody who's very helpful, somebody who is, you're very like strong and confident in what you do and who you are. And I feel like, you know, a lot of people seek that energy at your job. A lot of people seek that. So you may have people at your job who may come to you for advice or guidance. Some of you may be trainers. But yeah, I definitely feel like you carry a lot of positive weight at your job. People will definitely view you as somebody who they can rely on, somebody who they can trust. You come off as a support system for others. Even if you really don't feel like it, even if you just really hate when people just come up to you and just start telling you all their business and issues and problems, I feel like that's just part of who you are. What are those things called? Like it's like transmuter or something like that. But it's like people who just naturally have this alchemic energy to them, to where they're able to, you know, take negative energies or take, you know, traumas and just lower vibrations, and even without you knowing it, you just naturally alchemize their energy into positive energies that are beneficial in abundance and prosperity. So I feel like you do that for other people just by being in the room, just by being around. You heal other people. You have a very healing energy to you, a very cool, calm, and collected energy to you, and people really love that about you. You got the 3 of Discs, so people view you as somebody who works very well. You work very well with others. You work, you collaborate well with others as well. Some of you, if you are content creators or self-employed, you may have a lot of people who want to collaborate with you, or who want to maybe sponsor you or things like that. So I definitely feel like you are very much a team player here. I feel like you may, when it comes to your career, you may experience a lot of abundance when you work with other people. I don't know, there's just something about you like not doing everything on your own. You needing to be able to reach out to others. And I know that you may be looked at as a support system, but that doesn't mean that you yourself don't need support, group number 3. So I feel like your spirit guides, you know, if you're needing some help or support on something, they want you to not be afraid to speak up and ask for their help or support, you know? So I definitely feel like, you know, you just have a lot of support system around you that you don't even know that you have. But this is very like positive energy here. I feel like your coworkers really like you. I feel like you may come off as somebody who's very funny. You may, you know, make people laugh. For some of you, you may have a very unique laugh. So some of your coworkers may really like the way that you laugh or the way that you smile as well. You come off as somebody who's very attractive as well. So again, you may have a lot of people who may, or you may have quite a few people at your job who may view you as a potential love interest. You got the hangman. So you're somebody here who has a very open mind, a very open heart. You're not closed off. You're not an asshole. You may have this, tough exterior, and you may come off as like don't fuck with me type of energy. But again, you have a very good balance when it comes to that. So I feel like when it comes to the people who you're meant to help and support, you're very open-minded, very much non-judgmental. They view you as somebody who's not judgmental, um, very optimistic about certain things. You have this like coach energy to you. So some of you could be life coaches, or maybe want to be life coaches. um, Anything else? Or you may be in some type of helping profession. I feel like you're a really good helper, or a very good support system. You're very good at your job here as well. Your coworkers think that you're very good at your job. I'm picking up that you don't have a lot of haters at your. I mean, you have haters, of course. That's just a part of being who you are. But I feel like they may have beef with you, but you don't have beef with other people. The Seven of Wands oftentimes talk about like competition, conflict. In the original tarot, it's like this one person, and they're up against like a bunch of other people who are trying to attack them with their wands. So I feel like with this character here, she's standing firm. She got her shield up. She got her hand on her hip. She's not worried. She's not worried at all. So I feel like you come off as somebody who's, you're very good at your job. You come to work, you do what you do, and you go home. You're somebody who comes off as very confident, or even have it all together. Even if you may have some struggles at home, you still come off as somebody who's very confident and just very good at what you do. And very powerful. You don't allow other people to dim your light. You don't allow other people to take your power away without your consent. So you've done a lot of healing work. Again, a lot of healing. And because you've done a lot of healing, you're able to heal others as well. So we're going to get some additional characteristics. Maybe see who, maybe talking shit about you at work. Just to kind of, for those of you who need some confirmation. Some of you may do things differently than other people, or think differently than other people. I'm picking up, that you work with. Okay. Okay, let's see who's talking shit about you. So you got POC, so person of color, sharp or thin features, brown eyes or dark eyes. They could have a round face. And these could also describe some of you as well, but set the intention for who may be talking shit about you. Chubby, lazy / chill, friendly, conservative, disciplined, introvert, sweet, has scar or noticeable birthmark, African or African American, LOL, next to POC, person of color here. Then you have Native American. So this could be somebody who maybe talk shit about you, or somebody, who may not necessarily have your best interest at heart at your job. But again, I feel like you don't have a lot of like enemies or like bad blood between people at your job. Some of you may have a little bit of beef with somebody, but I feel like for the majority of you, you keep to yourself, you do you, and you go home. But group number 3, these are all the messages that I'm seeing for y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next reading. Peace out.